Hello guys, I am Nipeleke and I work for WhiteLabelFox. We develop web apps for startups and on-demand businesses. We are introducing a new podcast series in which we will cover the journeys and different problems and their ideas of different startup founders who have recently launched their apps in the platforms. And in our first episode, we have Mr. Aman Male. He has founded Nipeleke in Zanzibar city of Tanzania, and he is with us for this episode. So let's dive into it. Can you please tell us about your background and how you get the idea to start your business?
My name is Amani, and I'm from Zanzibar. I'm born and raised here. So my background, I can say my education background, I have a degree in international relations and diplomacy, including international trade. And my work experience, I gladly work at several printing companies as a sales and marketing manager. And also I got the opportunity to work at the International Organization for Migration, which is the United Nations Migration Agency, for 4 years. So the idea of me to start up this business, because I had the desire to create a convenient and accessible platform for transportation, delivering also some essential services in my home country in Zanzibar. Because I recognize the absence of such services, because I conducted several research as in why in Zanzibar we don't have this kind of services or platform that people can be able to have to get access on their phone, which make very convenient for them. So after my research, I came across your company ads on Instagram, including your app, offered by WhiteLabelFox, and immediately captured my attention as a potential solution for bringing my vision to life.
Okay. What motivated you to enter this industry?
The motivation.
Yes. Have you seen any references or have you any particular business idea?
To be honest, the thing that led me to engage in your company, because at first I was very hesitant because it's my first time to deal with foreign companies. So I was very curious to know about your background, how you offer your services, your review online. So yeah, and I got comfortable enough to say, okay, let me start to work with this company. Yeah. So I think the motivation, because I saw your app, and then it motivated me to say, okay, this is what I was looking for. Yeah. Because and then I inquired some several company in Tanzania, but their platform were not the same as yours, because yours has a lot of things inside the app which were more captivating. Yeah.
Okay. What are some initial challenges you faced when developing your app idea?
Initial challenge. Okay. Yeah. So challenge that I face, there were so many challenges, but the challenge that I face is that at first, the demand for market in Zanzibar, because in Zanzibar there is a small market here, to be quite honest, and a lot of people, they are living in low living standard and are not in line with the use of booking services via apps. Yeah, and for example, in a lot of service provider where they do not have access to smartphone and are not interested in registering their services at Nipeleke app, when even when the offers we put them, it wasn't free. Yeah, and also the transport technology barriers we have, because there are limited access to technology, the internet connectivity of local people. Yeah, and also there is a problem of culture resistance. Yeah, a big challenge, because a lot of people, they have this habit of using their phone to access those services rather than to use apps. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the big main challenge that we face.
Okay. So lack of technology and very or a small case of
Yeah.
using the use case of online businesses is your biggest challenge you have faced, right? So people are less interested to book any services using their smartphone. Instead, they prefer to do it manually. How do you see the market of your service in your countries? I
Okay,
mean,
the
what
way,
are the
okay,
demands
just
and what are other cases you have observed right now?
since I first started here and understanding the market and the infrastructure and as well as the target audience, yeah, because at the moment we are facing a low market, even though we are the first player. I mean, we are the first company which launched these services in Zanzibar, but a lot of people, they say that they don't have enough education to be able to access the app, to be able to access the app to inquire several services. Yeah, and the way I see it here, because a lot of education has to be done here, so that's why I should say it's very small, even hard to explain it. But at the moment, people are starting to realize the importance and the benefit of booking the services on your app, so that you can be able to track it and to know what you are looking for.
Okay. I'm sure modern times, barrier will be
Yeah.
shortened because nowadays people will have this kind of practices to use smartphone future days, right?
Yeah.
What are the other
Mm.
trends which
Yes.
you have
Yeah.
observed in the same industry right now?
The other trends. Yeah. Right now, there is a trend of service provider, handyman services, and it's emerging here in Tanzania mainly. Because in Tanzania, there is a market that is not tapped in yet, because a lot of people, because in Tanzania, we receive a lot of people, foreign, even local. And some local, they find it very hard to access those service providers or handyman services. Yeah. By doing my research, I found that there is up to 2033, the market for service provider delivery can grow up to 1.8 billion dollars in the coming years, because a lot of people now, they see, okay, this is a good option for them to have this kind of app that can access those different people who are skilled enough to be able to do their work instead of finding people manually.
Okay. How is the handyman service app market in Tanzania? I mean, what are the local trends right now? What is the business model traditionally, and what changes did we face
Yeah,
while
the handyman
introducing a new
market
system
is
for them?
the new thing is that even though previously a lot of people, if they want to access those service provider handyman, they have to look for companies, several companies. It's not like they have this one thing they can.
How is
Okay.
handyman service app emerging in the market of Tanzania?
Because we have like maybe several types of handyman service, but they
Yes.
don't offer like more than one handyman services. Because like each company, for example, pest control mechanics, they have their own. So when I look into it, I get that this could be very difficult for a user to have more apps on their phone, rather than to have one app that comprises all those service provider. Yeah. Right now, due to and another thing, there is a huge growing urbanization in Tanzania, in Zanzibar as well, because now the service provider and delivery, and also ride hailing, it's increasing a lot, and also the visit.
Okay. How to run a delivery service app in a country like Tanzania? I mean, how did you set up your entire business model?
In terms of legally or to the startup.
Covers are both ways. I mean, finding the drivers, different service providers,
Yeah.
some little bit restaurants and other paperworks to be done, so that upcoming entrepreneurs can have some references.
All right. So the way I started here to register, since my registering process here, because because before you want to launch this app, you have to register it to the the registration office, the government, and have to see the complexity of the apps and how it has the security to secure personal information for users as well as service provider, and to see if we are able to onboard service provider who are registered their business legally, because we are not allowed to onboard people who are doing their services, but they don't register their service in the government office. So after we have done all the paperwork, and then it was, because at first it was a challenge that to register those, for example, those big restaurants, because there were a lot of practice that this kind of apps they didn't allow.
How to run a delivery service app in a country like Tanzania? I mean, how do you set up everything?
All right. So first of all, you need to understand the market here in Tanzania, and also the demand on which people, on the target audience, because our research, we found out that not a lot of people have this mentality of applying delivery service on their phone. But the good thing that people were very interested in the way that FoxCheck, Nipeleke app offered to white label. They put this feature called it was live tracking delivery. Yeah, so a lot of people, they gave a good comment about it, and they said this is good for that, so that people, they can track their deliveries. So first of all, you need to see the target audience and identify the customer, as well as delivery zone, because in Zanzibar we have different zones where people use apps, and also the competition. Yeah, competition here is very big, because in terms of only deliveries and ride hailing, but not service provider, and also the regulation. Familiarize yourself with the local regulation and how you can get those paper or those certificate where you are allowed now to do online deliveries in Zanzibar. Yeah. But in terms of the app development, I'm thankful that WhiteLabelFox gave me a nice app which offers those kind of features. Yeah, and also partnership with local businesses, especially restaurant and shops. Because our target was not only those big restaurants, but we were so eager to work with these small restaurants, because we see a lot of people they like to buy food from these local restaurants. Those restaurants which have a high low star rate restaurants, or you can say in Swahili, those restaurant dog, because they offer a wide range of product and their quality is the same, but in terms of prices, so we are starting to work with these smaller restaurants, and as well as drivers too, because some drivers, they feel like we put the prices on our own terms, but they don't see how the prices determine how much time do you spend, or how many kilometer did you travel. And as well as payment gateway. Now we are using Tigo Pesa, which is our first gateway, because in Zanzibar, almost like 80% of people, they use Tigo. Yeah, so we started to use Tigo, and then in the long run, we'll try to integrate those four integration, which are Airtel, Halotel, and also M-Pesa, which is Vodacom. Yeah.
Okay.
And the customer service is very important. We also establish an office of customer service where we receive a lot of inquiries, especially how the WhiteLabelFox is, because the first initiation of because the people are very familiar with Bolt and Uber, because they say when they click the ride service, it shows where to, and then it shows the different prices. But in Nipeleke, they find it difficult where if they, for example, if they press the button of bike ride and they see another feature that, okay, let's put where to, and then if if they want to put their location, and then they see other location. So it was a challenge in terms of educating them how to use this app. And they also would like to recommend WhiteLabelFox to change that features, at least to try to imitate how people are how a lot of our people are used to it, in terms of Uber, Bolt, or even for us. Yeah.
So I think it will be very interesting journey for you to transform the manual or traditional business into a digital version of it. And
Yeah.
I think it will be very interesting for people of Tanzania too, because this kind of features like live tracking of the driver from store to their home is very eye-catching for them too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay. So, where do you see your company, and the entire industry heading in next few years?
Yeah, honestly, we see ourselves in the next maybe 3 years as one among the leading service provider companies in Tanzania, because this year we are planning to launch our business in Tanzania mainland, because there is a big demand, and we have so many inquiries and so many service provider. They want to register their services on our platform. So in terms of the bigger market we see, we're going to be like one among the leading company in Tanzania, where we can reach up to 2 million or 3 million customers in Tanzania. Because the population in Tanzania is almost like 78 million people, and a lot of them, they are living in Dar es Salaam. Almost we have like 9 million people who are living in Dar es Salaam. Right? Dar es Salaam is one among the leading city, where it has a great potential, a lot of development there, and a lot of very companies, they want to, make their service more accessible. Yeah. I think after 3 or 4 years, we're going to reach to another level of development.
I was telling that lots of population has a benefit too. We will have so many different options to conquer the entire audience, right? So I'm sure it will be helpful for you.
Yeah, and also we have also want to recommend some changes on the UI user interface of the app. Yeah, because I saw a lot of apps, for example, they deliver anything. It has a unique features, and me and my team, we would like to make inquiries about it. Yeah, about the UI.
Sure, sir. You can, and we will respond.
Okay.
Let's go to next questions. How do you
Right.
describe the startup ecosystem of your country? I mean,
Sorry.
what are the procedures do entrepreneurs have to follow in order to introduce a new startup in your country?
The procedure.
Yes.
All right. First
What
of
are
all,
the problems and procedures? Procedures. We can start with procedures.
Okay. So the procedure is that, first of all, they will need to bring the idea to life in order to, to register the apps. I mean, to have the license to operate the app in Tanzania or in Zanzibar. Yeah, and another thing, because they have to bring it to the Ministry of Trade. I mean, they have to present it so that those officers, they see the apps and how it's function, and even the IT technician, they have to endorse it, say, okay, this is okay, this can be used in Zanzibar. Yeah, so after they get the endorsement from the Ministry of Trade, so the another part is that they have to have an office, an active office. But it depends on how they want to register like a small business or a company. Yeah, they will have to
From
follow the procedure and how to register the company in terms of capital, how much they have, yeah, or how many employees that they have at the moment. Yeah, another thing is that they have to draw like the work plan on how they want to reach. For example, as for me, as we are dealing with several businesses or partnerships, so we have to at least make sure that they have those legal license or business license so that we can have them on board of the apps. Yeah. And another thing is that they have to also consider, because this is not an easy process, they have to be very patient about it, because not all people they will support your services or they support your app. Yeah. And the last one, which is more important, they have to make sure that all persons which are on board, they are legally registered with the government. Yeah, that's the main thing to consider.
Okay. So, how do you get initial funding for your business, or if any entrepreneur want to start a business,
Okay, I
what
would
are the
say in
funding
Zanzibar,
options for him
because
in
in
Tanzania?
Tanzania I'm not very familiar with it, even though I stayed there for almost 6 years. But I will say in Zanzibar, okay. So in Zanzibar, how you get your fund and how
Okay.
your idea is, how your idea can impact the life of the people. And another thing is that because I used my own money to invest on the app, I didn't have any support because I used my own money to invest it in the app or to start the business. But there are some people who got the opportunity to be sponsored by either private investors or people who are well off, financially. Yeah, because the thing is that if you present an idea which is very unique, or something that is not there, or something that is has a potential growth, so yeah, they get the opportunity to be funded. But they have to be helped. They have to agree, because each investor has their own interest in it. Yeah.
So, how do startups in Tanzania get initial fundings? What are the funding options for them?
Okay. I can say depending on the market, which market they want to provide their services. Um, Especially if we were talking about these services, online services. So there is a market here in Zanzibar. In Tanzania. There is a big market here. So when you want to find those initial funding, first of all, you must have an idea that actually have a good impact in the society, and the idea and that idea doesn't have like let's say a big competition in it. And also you need to provide like a project, like a project proposal, where you can inquire the banks, because the banks, they have this entrepreneurship or sponsorship program where they support small entrepreneur, even though they like to have those tangible goods, but not this kind of a service that is operated online. But some percentage of it, they consider, they say, okay, this idea has a big potential in it. Yeah. And another thing is that they also maybe search for support for friends or family, if they are willing to invest with you, if they believe that your idea can be successful. Yeah. But in terms of my experience, when I started this journey, yeah, I had some few people, but in the long run, they disappear. So I was, yeah, I was alone in this, but now I'm thankfully, until now, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, thank God. So yeah, I mean, it's a big experience, but But if you believe in your idea, yeah, it can come to life more than you expect.
Yeah, your experience seems very motivating because setting a new business from the scratch, especially when you are startup and we don't have any more funds with us, is a very hard thing to do. And there is always lack of funding and different other problems. So many government procedures to be done, and it's a very complicated thing to do, I guess. What are other resources or support systems do people have while setting their startup?
And other resources.
Yes, like you have mentioned earlier, there are some entrepreneurial programs in the banks. Likewise, do we have any other options, some government schemes or other local level programs to encourage?
Yeah. Yes. There are. Yeah, there are some. There are some other, opportunities there to present your, business idea or project. Yeah, also the government also fund. They provide loans for, small entrepreneurs. And another place that I will strongly consider, at least to try to find those private investors, those people who have knowledge enough to be able to understand your idea and understand the impact of it. Yeah, so it is very important to find the right people so that they can understand your project, because you can go to the government and ask for, business opportunities or ask for project proposal, but some offices they don't even know that this idea will have a big impact to their people. So finding the right people, yeah, it's very important. Yeah.
Okay. How was your experience working with us?
Honestly, it was a very nice experience. Yeah, because we had a lot of, sound errors, and the Skype group of Nipeleke, it helped us a lot, and the experience was good. It was beyond our expectation.
What aspects of our services or product did you find most valuable for you?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to suggest the prices. I mean, because I don't know how you determine the prices of each, each like custom development, but I think I'll have to suggest that you should consider small business, have a limited, kind of like a fair prices. It would be very, because I would like to work with you. I would like to work with the WhiteLabelFox maybe 10 years or 20 years. Because I feel there's a big potential in working with it because we have a big market here. So, yeah, so that's my suggestion. I think it will be better for you to lower the prices because we don't want to find another companies, to be able to maybe to have some custom different open of the apps, be able to fix our error, what to continue working. Yeah.
Okay. Any other specific features you find more valuable to your business idea?
From our apps.
Yes, from the products. Any features?
Any feature that I will recommend to add?
Yes, sir.
Actually, it's for now, for the time being, we see that it's enough because we haven't tapped in yet to the big market. But in terms of the features, maybe the URL, they are, we want them to be more advanced. Yeah, like more, let's say, good looking. Yeah. But for now, in terms of the how the operation works, yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Because we don't have any suggestion about it.
Okay. Okay. Let's conclude our podcast right now. So I'm sure the entrepreneur will have get an idea about what are the procedures, steps about launching a startup in the Zanzibar, and what kind of challenges do they have to keep in the mind while discovering or designing the solution of any new problem. And I'm sure they will get a brief idea about what are the funding and other benefits or supports they get from their country in order to launch their startups. Uh, do you have any message or advice for next entrepreneurs? I mean, some tips for them to launch their business in Tanzania?
I will give them a nice advice. It's very hard to start a business, especially apps. Business including that you have an app that you want people to use. It's very difficult, but as long as you believe in it and then you have enough education about it, to defend your idea and how it can impact people's lives. Yeah, it's very good because Tanzania is a growing country, and it's an habit for technology, because technology is growing rapidly in Tanzania. A lot of people, they like to explore how to use the technology, even though we have different people who are using technology in terms of scamming people or maybe fraudulent activity. But if your business is more protected and it's more like trusted, then yeah, it's a good opportunity people to have this idea. And another thing, like have the patience, because not all people they want to support your journey. Because if you are very strong enough to see, okay, right now I'm in this position, I want to do this, and then yeah, it's okay. Because for me, I honestly did not renew my contract in the Canadian embassy because I wanted to start my own business. Yeah. Then I took that risk, even though it was a high risk, because I was paid a lot of money I was paid, but I believe that okay, I have this vision and I want to provide these services to my country and Zanzibar. Yeah, so you have to take risk, and you have to be there physically, because if I will continue working and other people, I don't believe they could reach where I am in. Yeah. So risk is very important. You have to risk and have to believe in what you are doing. And also, like, don't depend on anyone, like, fully. Also, you need to depend on yourself. If you can handle the heat, and then yeah, can be successful.
I'm sure our listeners will have so many tips and so many benefits and learnings from your journey. And thank you so much, sir, for this episode. We would love to hear from you in the future episodes. And for now, let's conclude this session. And thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you for your time, and thank you for the podcast. Yeah, and I'm very happy to continue working with WhiteLabelFox. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And please say my greetings to Viral and Hadik. For those people who are out, I'm chatting with them Skype mostly. Yeah, so.
I'm sure, sir. I'll send your regards to them.
Yeah, send my regards to them, of course. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Okay, bye. Have a nice day.